The NFL and college football seasons are just getting started, and they're off to a hot start. The MLB playoffs are nearing, and many teams are fighting to play in November. And the TSTV Sports fall semester has officially begun, which means Crossfire is officially back, baby. Grab a seat because we all have the chaos you've missed for 3 months and more right here on College Crossfire.
Whoa.
Good evening to everyone tuning in tonight. If you're an experienced College Crossfire watcher, you might be thinking to yourself, who the heck is this guy? Where's my favorite host, Robert Gonsolin? And to that, my answer is that he graduated and has appointed me, TJ Krilowicz, as your next host of College Crossfire. Thank you. That's some applause already. I was expecting some boos. I'm very thankful that I've been chosen, and I hope that I can do as great of a job as my predecessors, which I all highly respect. But nobody cares about me. We care about the panelists and the interesting and sometimes questionable answers that they will come up with. And trust me, we'll have plenty of that tonight. It's the return of the best sports debate show around, and the most exciting one on the 40 acres. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back the College Crossfire. But as always, before we begin, I want to share that today's show is brought to you by Cap Metro, Austin's transit system. We connect you to work, school, play, and everywhere in between. So plan your ride to this weekend's game at capmetro.org. So without further ado, it's time to get into it. For those who have never tuned in before, we must review the game's rules for tonight's show so that you're prepared for the action we're about to get into. There'll be 3 rounds containing 3 questions. 3 rounds containing 3 questions each for each round. I'm going to dish out points in the amounts of 3, 2, and 1 based on our contestants' answers. Whoever has the most points from their answers by the end of the 3rd round will be crowned as this week's College Crossfire champion and will get the return for our next episode. But there's a catch. Everyone must know before we begin our 3rd and final round, better known as Rapid Fire, is worth double the points, meaning no lead is safe. Also, our contestants have not yet been able to see or prepare for those questions whatsoever. So they'll have to think on their feet and come up with their idea of the best possible answer. If there's a tie by the end of Rapid Fire, I have a bonus question ready that will help determine our Crossfire champion. Now that we've reviewed the rules, let's jump right into it. Per tradition, we can't start any show without introducing our contestants. So that being said, let's welcome in our lineup for tonight. And on first base, the guy's from the DFW area, but if you ask them who his favorite sports teams are, you wouldn't have a clue where he's from. Raymond Gorvie, welcome to the show.
Howdy, 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 howdy. Nice to be back, nice to be back, nice to be back. But yeah, that's enough about me. I'm just here to win.
I like it, man. Short and sweet. Short and sweet. He's ready. And at second base, he might not look like he's fired up, but inside this man has a fierce competitive spirit that comes out mostly when he gets 1 point on a round he thinks he should have gotten 3. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Colin Flickinger.
Well, you get points for this. Oh, wow. Okay. But you get points for not, getting my grade wrong, like Robbie did, 4 times last year? And then, I think that shot was a little unnecessary, but...
Hey, we're here for heated debates, all right?
All right.
And I don't know, man. Dissing on Robert G?
Hey, he got my grade. He called me a freshman 4 times last year.
Come on. All right. And on third base, his government name is Santiago, but his friends call him Unk. Everyone, please welcome the 2025 Longhorn Chicks Bachelor winner, Santiago Ortiz.
Hello, everybody. I'm very excited to be here with my good friend TJ. This is actually my first time on the show, so I'm really excited, and let's get right into it.
Welcome to the show, Santiago. Glad to have you on. And now that we've introduced our contestants, it's time to begin the game. The first question I have for you guys. Texas football took care of business on Saturday, taking down San Jose State 38-7. Although the win wasn't as dominant as the scoreboard entails, the Longhorns were still able to bounce back after a tough Week 1 loss to Ohio State. Unfortunately, with the predicted cupcake schedule for top 10 teams in Week 2, Texas stayed put at number 7 of the latest AP poll. Do you think this ranking is too high, too low, or just right? And if you think it should be changed, tell me where you think they should be and why. We'll start off here with Raymond.
I think actually that is a perfect ranking. Look, based off poor tradition for the NCAA, they really don't change any teams in the AP poll in the first couple weeks, especially when they're playing those cupcakes, unless they do something like a Clemson. Fun fact, there was a game in 2016 where they had identical stats about that, where they played Troy last time in 2016. Like, same passing yards, same passing touchdowns, same score. Just sidebar. But back to the original point. But yeah, in past, we've seen teams not move, play cupcakes. It always happens. Clemson, they deserve the job because we saw that game with Troy, struggled until the second half. And then with that, I have an argument for that. Notre Dame is ranked the 8. They didn't play. They didn't move. And then also Florida State. There's an argument for them to be moved up. But if they're not going to move up, there's nobody else, no movement.
All right. And Colin, what do you got to say?
I'm going to go with Ray here. I do think that Texas is in a perfect position rank-wise. I would not take Texas over any of the 6 teams ahead of them, but I also think that they are a level above all the teams ranked behind them. When I look at the rating of 7, I want to really get an average of how good I think the offense is compared to how good I think the defense is. I am a firm believer that Texas is a top 3 defense in the country, probably number 2 behind Ohio State, and I think that their offense is sitting somewhere around 11 to 14. If Arch Manning can, progress and get up to speed to where we all thought he should be at the start of the season, that number will jump significantly quicker. But I do think that 7 is just about the perfect rating for what they're at right now.
All right, and Santi, the last one.
Yeah, I'm going to come in hot here. I think this team should be unranked. I think they've just looked terrible in every single game they've played. The offense did not look good against San Jose State. They got opportunistic defensive turnovers. But, I really think that Texas fans should start buying their tickets to the Cheez-It Bowl because I think that's where we're ending up this season. I just don't have any faith in this team from what I've seen. I don't know what Arch is doing, if he's injured, if he's not injured. Either way, I don't like it, and I really just don't vibe with this team this year.
And that is what College Crossfire is all about. The fiery takes, man. That was just unfortunately not the right take. I'm going to have to give you the 1 point there. Colin, I think I'm going to give you the 3 points here. I like your reasoning. I think that Texas does have a top 3 defense in the nation. Raymond, I'm going to give you the 2 right there. But hey, good first question out of the way. Let's get into the second question. Staying with college football, like almost every week, there was a few impressive victories from teams that either badly needed the victory or were huge underdogs going into the game. Considering all the games on Saturday, what victory to you was the most impressive? And Colin, I'll start with you.
When I was first looking at this question, I was thinking it's probably USF. But then I thought Florida really just isn't that good of a team, so it's not all that impressive to me. But what really got me was Mississippi State, who went 2-10 last season. A quarterback of Blake Shapen, who played, I think, 1 quarter in 1 game last year, got injured for the rest of the season. Mississippi State, according to all the analysts, was going to be one of the bottom teams in the NCAA this year. They ranked their defense among the bottom 5, and they just really gave them no chance versus an Arizona State team that the national media had ranked at 12th. They had Sam Levitt, who had been touted as a top 20 quarterback by a lot of the sports media going into the season. And Mississippi State comes out and absolutely slaughters them both offensive and defensively. 2 interceptions, 2 sacks, 6 tackle for losses. Blake Shapen played amazing. I just couldn't be any more impressed with the Mississippi State team that defied all expectations.
All right, good points. Santi, what is your answer?
Yeah, I was thinking about this, and I feel like everybody was going to say USF. So I think, to me, the most impressive victory was actually Army going into Manhattan, Kansas, and beating Kansas State, a team that lost to Tarleton State. Army, they lost to Tarleton State last week, to come back and face that adversity and go beat a team in Kansas on the road, a Big 12 team at that. And I think the Ireland curse is real. Not good to lose week 1 in Ireland.
All right. Good answer, man. I wasn't expecting that answer from somebody tonight. So, Raymond, go ahead and round us out.
I know this might not be the most popular pick, but considering the season that they had last year, I'm going to go with OU. OU really dominated up front against a really solid Michigan team that's really known about pounding the rock, both offensively and stout up front play. And OU really dominated up front, both with their offensive line, which was really been dogged on all off season. It's the OU's O-line. It's really not that good, but they showed up to play that day, and I have to give them props for that. And then Joe Milton coming in there, establishing himself as QB1 against a historical program like a Michigan at home in a Rocket sold-out crowd. I have to give it to OU. They really impressed me this week.
All right, Raymond saying OU. I'm going to be honest. I'm very surprised that none of you guys said South Florida. I thought that was going to be a guaranteed answer, basically. It's a tough one. I'm going to give Colin the 3 points again here, actually. Mississippi State, I think that that's the best answer right here. I'm going to give you the 2 for Army and Kansas State. The thing is that Kansas State has just started off really, really terrible. But I mean, in the end, it's Army's. I mean, you don't lose to Army, so I mean that's a pretty impressive win by Army. Raymond, I'm gonna go with the 3 right here. It was a great defensive outing, or the 1. You said it was a great defensive outing, but I think they should be expected to win games like that, and I'm really not sold on Michigan as well. So there we go. We got the first 2 questions out of the way. Let's get to the last question of the first block. The Moody Center was rocking on Sunday, but not for a basketball game. It was actually for the Longhorns volleyball team, who were able to take down the Stanford Cardinal in a close 3-2 win. The volleyball team here on the 40 acres has no doubt been the most successful athletic program since I was a freshman, and they've been a huge help in securing 2 of the 3 Directors' Cups during my time as a student, aka the best athletic university in the nation. While the Longhorns probably going to take the Directors' Cup again this year, give me another university that has the best odds to challenge Texas for the best athletic university, and why? Santi, we're starting off with you.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the LSU Tigers. You know, this is a team that's won 2 national championships in baseball in the last 3 years. They look really good in football, and they're just very great at almost every single sport there, and whether it's gymnastics, whether it's track and field. I know they don't have a great basketball team, but I really like their chances overall, especially I think going at national championship in football goes a very long way towards that cup.
Yeah. Good answer. Raymond?
I'm gonna go with actually USC. Last year was it was the most tightest race in Directors' Cup history. And everybody thinks of all the big sports: football, basketball, track and field, which USC won both indoors and outdoors in the track and field last year. But it's about the sports that you really don't talk about. If I'm Texas, I'm really clenching my heels here and paying attention to the USC water polo team. They finished 2nd in the nation last year, and Texas doesn't have a water polo team. If USC somehow finds a way to defeat Stanford, who's another really good Directors' Cup competitor every year, in that water polo, we're talking about USC being the defending right now Directors' Cup champion. So I'm going to go with USC.
All right. And then Colin, go ahead and end.
I'm going to tail Ray's vote here, but not because of water polo. I think that I'm actually going to talk about swimming on this on this show, which I don't think has been done before. But USC had an incredible swim recruit class, signing 3 Olympians, which is the highest out of any of the new signings as of last year. They also had an incredible transfer class. And USC has not historically been a great swimming program, but with the advent of NIL, they have been able to create a new culture of being able to pay swimmers who are historically an underpaid group of athletes. So I think that they are going to actually catch up to Stanford and Texas by improving their swim program, as well as the fact that they are, it's their 2nd year in a conference where they had to travel all the way across the country, with the Big Ten. They can now settle into that a little bit more. I think you're going to be a lot better results.
Okay, I got you. Honestly, great answers all around. I'm going to go with Raymond for the 3 points here. I like the USC argument. I like the water polo argument. I was looking for water polo actually as one of the examples that they are actually good in. They are one of the biggest competitors in all of Directors' Cup, USC. So, Colin, I'm going to give you the 2. LSU is not on my radar. They
He
are
picked
good at
this. He had the same take though.
Well,
We got to award originality.
LSU and water polo or swimming, though.
How would I know? I pay attention to real sports. I have other things to do in my life. I have
all sports.
I have school.
You can't win a Directors' Cup in 4 sports.
LSU is not.
How's that
actually a
basketball
competitor.
team?
I'm not liking this show so far. I think I'm not coming
All right,
back.
man. Hey, maybe you have a chance to come back. Rapid fire's double the points, man. Hey, great answers all around from our contestants. But after round 1, we got Colin leading at 8 points, Raymond at 6 points, and Santiago over here at 4 points. But there's still so much more to talk about. We're going to go to our next block where we're going to talk about the NFL and also the MLB. You won't want to miss it. All on College Crossfire. Welcome back in the College Crossfire. If you're just joining us, we have Colin Flickinger in first place at 8 points, Raymond Gorvie in second with 6 points, and Santiago Ortiz in last place at 4 points. A great first round from our contestants, but it's time to transition to some other topics in the world of sports and begin round 2. Question number 1. The NFL is back, and the first week didn't disappoint. From the Cowboys' failed last drive to the Ravens and Bears collapsing on primetime, fans were treated with some great games and some great performances. But out of all the players, who do you think takes the cake for the most dominant performance from week 1 and why? Santi, we're starting off with you.
You know what? I'm going to say something that probably not a lot of people were expecting coming into this week, but I think Danny Dimes had the most impressive performance. I mean, a team in the Colts that obviously has starter Anthony Richardson. He comes in as the backup. A team against the Dolphins that's been a perennial playoff team this decade, been very decent, and they come out there and just demolish them. Didn't even make it look like a game. I have to go with Danny Derps. He played really well.
Hey, I like the answer, man. The Colts really did take care of the Dolphins, especially in that first half. So
I don't think the Dolphins are that good.
Yeah, ain't no one scared of Tua turn the ball over.
Yeah.
all right, but if you're the Colts, man, anyone is impressive. Colin?
You know, for me, when I think of what was the most impressive, it was the game of the year, Bills versus Ravens. There's 2 players who I can pick. I was flipping-flopping between them. I thought Santi was going to pick one of them, so I'll pick the one I thought he was going to take. I'm going to go with Josh Allen, 394 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 30 rushing yards on I forget how many attempts it was, but that doesn't really matter. He absolutely balled out, put up 41 points on, were the Ravens the, 1 seed or 2 seed in the NL last year? Or whatever, AFC, it's the same, those are the same thing, different leagues. Okay, anyway, Josh Allen, 394 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and a win over the Ravens.
All right, and then Raymond.
I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers simply because, listen, the man, Aaron Glenn told the man in his face, you're not good enough for my team. You're not good enough for my team. You're a fraud. We don't need you. We don't want you here. I don't care about your Super Bowl. I don't care about your MVPs. I don't care about your Hall of Fame resume, even though I'm a no-good DC and I came from Detroit and I'm just going to be the next Jets head coach that's going to get fired in about a year and a half after we draft a terrible quarterback. And then so Aaron Rodgers going into MetLife and sticking it to that man. 4 touchdowns. I mean, that Steelers defense, we heard about the Steelers defense. They didn't show up, so that makes it even more impressive. No one expected it to be a shootout. So I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers, turning back the clock.
Okay, yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Interesting answers all around. This is kind of a tough one. The thing is that I made this question and I said, who had the most dominant performance? And with that being said, I have to stick with the question, and I have to give Colin the 3 points here for Josh Allen being the most dominant. I think the next one, I'm going to go with Santi with Danny Dimes. I think that performance was very impressive. Aaron Rodgers, I like the answer too. I mean, all the great answers. I just think that it's the, not the best answer out of the 3. But moving on to the next round, or the next question. If you have already gotten really tied up in football, you might have forgotten that the MLB season is rounding up and playoffs are less than a month away. While the NL seems to have the teams that will be playing October baseball pretty much locked up, the AL has some question marks still on who will make the playoffs. In your eyes, who is your favorite to advance in the World Series in each conference and why? Colin, you start off.
For the AL, I've got to say, it's the only team with an above 500 away record as of 4 p.m. today, the Detroit Tigers. They have an elite pitching staff with Ace Turek-Skubal, who's going to win the Cy Young this year. They have some great hitters. They have amazing bullpen depth. They have exactly what you need for a deep run all the way late October, early November. For the NL, I got to go with the Fightin' Phils. You know, they weren't doing too great in the months of August and July, but they've really turned it around at the end of July. They're currently 10-3 in their last 13 games. They just had an insane 11-3 victory over the Mets tonight. I think that they are going to be the team that makes it out of the NL and makes it to the World Series.
All right, and then Raymond.
I'm going to start off in the AL. I'm going to go with the Boston Red Sox. Ever since they made that trade, everyone thought their season was over. It's over, done with. They're actually 44-29 since that trade, and I pretty much solidify, I would say, themselves in the playoffs for this year. So what you got, Alex Bregman coming back from injury. He's starting to come back into form. Trevor Story really turning his career back around in a positive way. And then you have Jordan Hicks, who when he got traded there, it didn't look like it was going to go good, but recently, the last couple games, he's been in a more reliever role, back in his traditional role, impressing me. So I'm going to go with the Boston Red Sox in NL, and in the AL. And in the NL, I'm going to actually go with the Flying Phillies too, but I'm going to go with the reason because they're 25-14 since August 1st, and they're the hottest team in baseball. You got, of course, my MVP, Kyle Schwarber, with 50 home runs, 123 RBIs, Bryce Harper, and then Alex Bloom and Trey Turner, who are injured, but only on 10-day, not a long-term injury. So I'm going to go with the Flying Phillies too.
All right, and then Santi.
All right, the AL is actually a very difficult pick for me. I actually was thinking the Red Sox as well, but I think that injury to Roman Anthony is going to really set them back. I think he was what really sparked their resurgence after the Rafael Devers trade. And so for the AL, I'm still thinking in my head right now. I think I'm just going to have to go with the obvious pick in the Tigers. I think they have that ace pitching staff that can get them there, and I don't really believe in the Blue Jays or even, I would love to say, the Astros, but I think without Josh Hader, it's just been really tough sledding. And then in the NL, I'm actually going to go with a surprise team. Not really even a surprise, the Milwaukee Brewers. I think everybody has already set this team's destiny as we know their first round exits. We saw what happens last year, but I love that they're built on defense. They're built on getting on base. They love stealing bases, and they have a lot of guys that just buy into their program. I love what Pat Murphy's building over there. I got Brewers versus Tigers.
Swept by the Rangers.
Brewers
versus Tigers.
Yeah. Brewers just.
I do like the Brewers pick. Honestly, I know that it's a very unpopular answer, but they are the first. They are number one in the league in run differential. They know how to dominate. I think that this is, and I also like the Tigers pick. I like your reasoning as well. So I'm going to give you the 3 points for this round. Raymond, I'm going to give you the 2 points here. And I say that because I do think that second half performances are a very strong indicator on how teams will play in October. And then, Colin, I'm going to give you the 1. You had a great answer as well. Unfortunately, I think the reasonings on the other 2 were better. All right. Moving on to the next question in the second block. It can be incredibly difficult to make the playoffs with only 14 teams making the cut in the NFL. Based on the offseason and in week 1, give me a team that you think will make the playoffs despite missing out last year. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna actually go with the Falcons because hey, even though they lost, they impressed me the most. I know they lost, but their defense actually looked way more improved than the past couple years of Falcons defense that we've been seeing. Lord. But back to it. Baker Mayfield threw for less than 200 yards. Yes, he had 300 touchdowns, but they kept them from sustaining long, sustainable drives and kept them from rushing for over 100 yards. Michael Penix almost having 300 yards. There it is. But Drake London, B. John Robinson, and God dang it!
Every single player.
Are you trying to say?
Yeah.
The quarterback or the tight end?
Kyle
Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. There it is. Kyle Pitts. A great tandem for a young quarterback like Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett. Michael Penix. Yeah. It's the Atlanta Falcons.
Deduct some points.
Yeah, got the point across.
Bro, yeah, I got the point across. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I'm going to go with a kind of obvious pick here. I'm going to go with the Bengals. I really believe in what Joe Burrow has. He got back T. Higgins. They still have Jamar Chase. I know obviously their defense was terrible last year, but I think they also got hit with a little bit of bad luck, to be honest. And Trey Hendrickson is still playing for them, even though he's having his contract disputes. But I like the Bengals. We've obviously seen them have great success in the playoffs before, and I think they can get back there this year.
All right, and then Colin.
I'm going to tail Santi here. I think that the Bengals are going to make it back because they not only, like Santi said, brought back all of their offensive weapons, but Shamar Stewart, their first-round draft pick out of Texas A&M, he came out in the first week and got PFF's 6th highest edge rusher ranking in the entirety of the NFL. That is a crucial piece of the defense, putting him alongside Trey Hendrickson. Their secondary looked incredible on Sunday. not college football. And I really think that this year the Bengals are going to make it to the playoffs, even if it is just going to be as, a 6 or a 7 seed.
All right, Colin.
Was that? Wait.
Okay, that was not
Because
intentional.
of that, I'm gonna have
That
to
was
give
not
you-
intentional. I promise you.
All right. You got another answer where we had two people say the same answer. I'm gonna go with Santi having the better answer here. I like you bringing up the historical context with the Bengals in the playoffs. They are a team that usually makes it. Last year was kind of an anomaly, and I think that they will bounce back again, even with the AFC North being pretty decently competitive in a way. Colin, I'll give you the second one there, mainly because Raymond's
I had the
answer
biggest
was,
brain fart.
Kyle
kind of
Pitts
a
and
mess
Kenny
there.
Pickett.
I had the biggest. Yeah, it's. Yeah. There's no
but
explaining
you
that.
did make a good point.
Yeah,
I think
KP
the
squared.
Falcons do have a solid chance, especially because that division is just not that good. But another great round from our contestants. Right now we have Colin leading it still at 14 points. Santiago trailing him now just behind at 12, and Raymond in last place at 10. After the break, it'll be time to head into the most exciting part of the night, rapid fire. The intensity will turn up a notch, and to win, you have to go all gas, no brakes. Stay right where you are, because it'll be time to decide our college Crossfire champion once and for all next.
Fire round is crazy.
Welcome back in the college
Grab the mic.
Crossfire. 2 blocks
TJ,
down,
grab the mic.
2 blocks down, and only one remains. Rapid fire. This next round is for it all. Once again, the points are doubled, and the panelists have not prepared for these questions. It's going to be all gas, no brakes from here on out. Let's get right into our first question. LeBron James might be the greatest basketball player in the world. His retirement is inevitable, and it looks like he already picked up his new hobby. This summer, the King showed on Instagram his new profound love of golf. And I don't mean to be a trendsetter, but I did kind of start playing golf a little bit earlier in the summer as well. Yeah, I mean, you can might see, hey, wait a second, is my swing about to show up?
No.
Yeah, look
Oh,
at
there
that.
we are.
Hey, that's with a 90s club, by the way.
Oh, that went way right.
Hey, we're fine. While I took lessons and improved my swing over the summer, I can now confidently say that I still suck at golf. It is a very difficult sport and takes years of practice to get consistent. In your opinion, what sport do you think would be the hardest to master and why? Anybody can take it at any point.
When we're saying master, do we mean like get to a professional level or just like?
Like, be good, like consistent in the sport. Be competitive.
You're. Oh.
Either y'all want to take one?
Somebody
I'm
answer.
still thinking.
Just put something out there.
There's some obvious answers out there.
All right, give me. No, okay, you want to go?
No, you can go ahead.
You're good.
All right, I'm gonna go with ping pong. I think ping pong is actually incredibly difficult. You know, when you watch the professional highlights, you see them. They're hitting the ball at like 50 miles an hour. It's a little, just tiny ball. It's got all this movement on it, just kind of like a baseball. And I think they got like a lab down there. I don't want to get too out of pocket here, but I feel like there's a lot of great players coming from certain regions, and that they're just like, I don't know, like they jump around the entire table. I feel like it'd be really hard and not something that you could practice a lot either. So I'm gonna go with ping pong.
All right. Hey, good answer.
All right, I'm gonna go with the obvious one, golf. I mean, I've been playing it since I was 4 years old. My dad played Division I golf at the Naval Academy. He's been giving me lessons since as long as I can remember, and I still suck at it. There's just some things where if you can't get it, if it doesn't click for you, you're never gonna get it. And golf is one of those sports. It doesn't matter what happens in golf. There's always gonna be a bad shot, but it's just about not letting the bad shots pile on. And if you can't do that, then you're not going to have, you're not going to be good enough at golf to be competitive.
Yeah, you think you're competitive in golf. You think you finally got your swing fixed, and then you triple bogey on the first hole.
Yeah.
It's a brutal sport for sure. Raymond?
I'm going to say the hardest sport to master is mixed martial arts because there's so many different types of fighters that you have to prepare for on a consistent basis, including when you talk about master, you got to talk about the mindset. That is one of the biggest mindset sports ever. You got to talk about the weight cuts. You're practically killing yourself. You got to stay consistent. You're killing yourself in the gym, working really hard, sweating. And then, got to stay consistent with the calories. But back to it, consistent, different type of fighting styles that you got to prepare for, lightning quick, reflexes, all that. I'm going to say mixed martial arts.
All right. Got the first question in the books for rapid fire. Again, I won't announce who got the points, but we do got to move on to the next question.
Hold it in the middle.
If my future kids were to ask me what it was like to be a Dallas sports fan in the year 2025, I would respond by saying it was the most brutal year for any sports fan of a city. Call me crazy, but trading two 25-year-old generational talents isn't the best recipe for success. The Luka Doncic trade led to protests even, with fans saying it was the worst trade in sports history. With that being said, what would you guys say is the worst sports trade you have ever witnessed in your life?
Are we allowed to pick from
In my
these?
life.
No.
Faster.
No, so we can't pick from one of those.
No, not the Luka trade.
I
A little thought-provoking.
I'm gonna go with a recent relevant pick. I'm gonna go with the Panthers trading like half of their entire picks for Bryce Young. You know, I think it wasn't the worst trade when I saw it, but seeing how things have played out just has not been beneficial for either team. No team really got anything. I guess the Bears got DJ Moore for all that's been. They're still mid. They're still awful every year. And I think Luka's the obvious pick, but since we're being barred from picking Luka for whatever reason, I'm gonna go with Bryce Young.
It's kind of.
I mean, that's cool. Like that's really cool that you picked that question, bro.
I agree with you. I agree with you. All right, we got common ground.
I'm going to go with Danny Ainge fleecing the Nets. I mean, let's talk about it. A new owner coming into the NBA thinking he's the newest hot shot. What do you mean? It's 2013.
That was in like 2012.
Hey,
You were,
I
like,
was
8.
Spurs fan. Hey, Witness, I heard about it. Hey, Witness alive, I was there. Time back, he interfered. But yeah, basically the new owner coming in trying to think he's going to be the next hot shot, next Jerry Jones coming in. I'm going to demand take over this NBA. So he traded Paul Pierce, who was 35. He traded for Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Jason Terry, who had a combined age of like 100. And then they traded him for 4 first-round picks and turned to Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and that led it to an NBA championship. And guess what? They got beat multiple times in the playoffs by the Boston Celtics with those players. So give me Danny Ainge fleecing the Nets.
All right, and Colin.
I think the most traumatizing one for a fan base would be the Bears trading up to pick Mitch Trubisky with the second or third overall pick, and then leaving Patrick Mahomes on the board. You give all that draft capital to go up one spot to get Mitch Trubisky, who was gone 2 years later. Granted, he did get them a playoff win, but did all of what other than that? One of the worst quarterbacks in recent NFL history. He's up there with the Nathan Petermans of the world. And they gave up 3 or 4 first-round draft picks just to take Mitch Trubisky.
Hey, I would like
Patrick
to say,
Mahomes is pretty bad in college.
I would like to say Mitchell Trubisky did not win a playoff game with the Bears.
Yeah, he did. He beat the Eagles.
No, he did not.
No, he didn't. That was
The game before that.
That was the
The
wild
game
card.
before
That was the wild card.
All right. Before we get too deep in this question, let's move on to the next one. The last question of the rapid fire round. The NFL implemented a lot of rule changes to eliminate taunting or unsportsmanlike conduct in the game. And we've already seen some examples of the brutal penalties that are now being enforced during week 1. But let's just say the NFL doesn't have any rules against taunting. For the last question of the night, I want to know what you would do if what would be your first down celebration if you're an NFL player?
Just a first down?
Well, if you want to make it a touchdown, I was thinking first down, just something simple. I mean, a little act out in the show, you know?
I mean, I'd probably get like pretty sendy. So like, if this was the ball, I just scored a touchdown. I'd probably just be like, that would probably be my celly.
Hey, all right.
I don't know if Shuey is the right answer there, but I think I would go with the Randy Moss wiping yourself after scoring a touchdown and then wagging
Every
it.
single time you score first down, you're gonna
I
Hey.
apologize that we got that on air.
duty to the
But
fans.
yeah, well, guess what? There's no taunting penalty, so what are they going to do about it? So, and then I'm going to hit the Randy Moss, wipe it. All right, that's what I'm going to do. Any first down I get, in their face.
Listen, I respect the game. I'm going to get up, grab the football, go back with my teammates and give the ball to the ref. Because we're still on a drive here. It's a first down. We're still driving here. What we celebrating for? We got to score a touchdown. What we celebrating for? It's a first down. You said first down. Why are we celebrating first downs? That is a celebration. Get up, grab the ball. Let's go. No, we got to respect the game, man. Respect the game. Respect the field that you play on. Respect your teammates. It's not about you.
We respect the answers.
Saying. A lot of factors.
Yeah, respect the 2 points, buddy.
Happened to make that play work.
Let me get these points up real quick. I'm gonna have to. All right. I got all these points rounded up. Very interesting first college crossfire of the year. This was a lot of fun. Great answers all around by our contestants tonight. With that being said, though, there can only be one winner. And this week, that person's name is, drumroll, we already got the vibe. You already know. It is Colin Flickinger.
Do we have time for FaceTime?
You're on next week, and I'm beating you.
Yes.
FaceTime.
All right, Colin.
We get FaceTime again?
Oh, yeah.
I don't really know what to say. Aaron Rodgers is overrated as a Steelers fan. I think he needs to go. I would much rather see Will Howard on 1-foot play than I would him. And Chris Boswell's the best kicker in the NFL. Don't at me, Joe Duffy.
All right. Hey. That's a strong statement to make at the end of your first college crossfire victory. We're glad to have you back next week, though. Congrats again. And that will wrap up things for us here on College Crossfire tonight. Thank you to everyone who makes this show possible, from the contestants to the in-studio personnel, all the people in Master Control, especially our executive producer, Gabriel Silva, and to you, the audience. Thanks for watching. Remember to tune into our other shows, the 1-0 Sports Show on Friday at 11 and College Press Box next Tuesday at 6. We're glad you joined us here for College Crossfire and hope to see you next week at 9. This has been TJ Krilowicz. Have a great night.